Yassin, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you for.
Would you mind by starting with just a quick introduction to yourself and the organization that you're a part of?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, David, for inviting me. So my name is Yassin Nahi, and I am the director for the UK and Ireland office of Enterprise Florida. Enterprise Florida is a state of Florida economic development organization. And our role is to help companies from the UK and Ireland. But I have colleagues across Europe also that can assist companies from other countries set up operations in the state of Florida. And we also help companies from Florida find business partners for myself, the UK and Ireland, and my colleagues for other areas in Europe.
Awesome. So it feels like everywhere you go nowadays, and anyone who's talking about US expansion, and even moving interstate in the US itself, Florida is a very popular topic or a very popular state at the moment for businesses considering expansion.
That's correct, yeah.
What are some of the reasons for that? Why is it attractive for businesses?
So I think there is something people tend to forget about the state of Florida. Beyond the tourism industry, it is the third largest state in the US, and it is an economic powerhouse as such. If it was a country, it would be the 17th economy in the world. And it is also the gateway to Latin America. But currently, we have seen with the current coronavirus pandemic, many people willing to relocate for especially home working into the state, just because you have more space and it is also cheaper than let's say California or the northeast of the US. And there is also something that was growing in the past couple of years that is now actually being seen is a tech scene in the state. More and more funds are, for example, starting to create Florida dedicated funds to invest in technology companies, not only the young startup, but also the scale-ups. So a lot of things are happening, people moving, people that were working from home that discover the ecosystem. So more and more people are talking about it in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's literally everywhere right now. What are there some well-known businesses who have recently moved to the States?
Well, it's in particular, I would say it is the famous Californian and New York-based tech giants that have considered either the CEO moving to Florida or moving some of their operations, in particular technology centers, back office operations, or just Florida offices.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to me that a lot of businesses from California and New York seem to be relocating to either Texas or Florida. So it's kind of, I think there's a lot of comparisons being drawn there. One thing, I mean, it's appropriate to talk about taxes as well.
Yes.
Because let's just call it what it is. That's always an element of businesses making decisions when it comes to moving their headquarters, or particularly if we're talking about the senior leadership moving to a new state. What's the tax climate in Florida, and is it an attractive one for business?
So it is for businesses and individuals because you have a 0% personal income tax. So it's a lifelong advantage for individuals located in the state, and you have a 5.5% for corporate tax. So if you look at the overall tax system in the state, it is ranked number 4 in the US, and I think number 1 is Alaska, and the 2 others before are Wyoming and South Dakota. So if you look at the largest states in the US and the most populous, Florida is definitely ranked number 1 for that particular purpose. And it is one of the key elements that appeals executives, but also senior staff that want to have sometimes just a better quality of life and also paying less taxes.
Yeah, you can't really argue with that. Totally. And you mentioned earlier about investment opportunities and businesses, funds who are investing into the tech scene there. Has that grown a lot in the last few years?
I would say in the past couple of months. That is a very interesting thing, is that I know the colleagues in Miami have been pushing a lot on trying to bring funds into Florida, and usually the one that were coming to Miami were focused into investing in Latin America. But this time they are not only looking at Latin America, but also looking at the state itself. So, but it's not only actually finance houses that are moving their investment practices. I mean, not moving, but like creating a location in the state. Like BlackRock, for example, have set up a technology center in Miami, just because they were looking for bright talents, multilingual, and they just reviewed the multiple locations that were offered to them, and Miami made sense for them. And I see it also with a lot of the technology companies I speak to in the UK and Ireland, where they would usually look into the usual suspects of New York, Boston, Chicago, or California. And now they're like, well, we looked into them, and currently I think Florida is the place to be. So it's not only us saying, but it's also the feedback we get from companies. So it's a nice convergence today.
Good. Yeah, it seems to be good timing. Good timing. And I know quality of life is also something that people talk about when it comes to Florida. What can people expect from that?
Well, then it depends also where you want to live in the state, because I think people mainly know about South Florida with Miami and Fort Lauderdale, maybe Palm Beach. And but you also have the Orlando and Tampa area and the Jacksonville region. So each of them offer a different lifestyle, depending on also the type of activity the business wants to run, but also in terms of the type of the life people want to live. For example, in Orlando, everyone knows about the theme parks and the entertainment, but there is a lot behind that scene of available for tourists. And an area also like Jacksonville is very good for fishing, for boating, for like a lot of outdoor activity. So it really depends on what people are looking for. And because you have this year-long sunny weather, you adapt also to the seasons, but differently, because it's more whether it is hotter or not depending on the time of the year.
Yeah, totally. Can you surf in Florida?
I don't think you can surf in Florida. No, I don't remember seeing people surfing. A lot of people are enjoying the time along the beaches, but I don't recall seeing people surfing.
Yeah, okay. That would probably clinch the deal for me. Not that I'm a very good surfer, but I do enjoy like drowning in the water every now and then. Just as a final question, there'll be lots of business owners watching this who are considering US expansion, and they're probably looking at a few different states right now. I'm just curious what you would recommend that they look at for Florida specifically. If they're interested in Florida, obviously first port of call is they should definitely reach out to you, and we'll make sure that your contact information is available.
Thank you.
Really valuable services for people who are looking at Florida as a market. But other than that, what would you recommend that people do when they're considering an expansion and Florida is on the cards?
So I would say the first thing I'm asking people is the type of talent they are looking for, because that's what will drive they are the people that will be driving the US business. Wherever they will be in the US, if they decide to be in Florida, I think it's our duty to make sure that they will get access to the people they need for developing their business, not only in the case of Florida, not only in North America, but also in the Caribbean and South America, as many of the businesses we work with are not only looking at the US market. So yeah, I will always question people, what type of talent are you looking for? And also the second thing I ask, which I did just this morning, by the way, is what type of connections do you need in terms of transportation? And that is critical, because if a company has physical goods to ship from Europe to North America, or if they even are looking at manufacturing in North America to ship their products across the American continent, they need to be well connected either by air or by sea, but they need to look at the logistics advantage of the location where they will be and at the transportation cost. And that can make a very big difference in the bottom line. So as we mentioned before, taxes are important, access to talent, the travel connections and transport connection, yeah. And and then of course the operation cost. I mean, you have to have access to the right talent at the right cost. And I think one of the good things is that Florida can offer a little bit of everything that can match companies' needs. And that's why perhaps now people start seeing the evidence. And that's why we are starting to work with more and more companies looking at the state to expand into.
Thanks very much, Yassin. That was super interesting. Thanks for giving us your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.